Hello, hello. Mm, mm. Let's see. Hardest lesson I had to learn. Hardest lesson I've had to learn. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Let's see. Hardest lesson. I got copyrighted yesterday from using the book, and citing exact things. Okay, I didn't know better, but I kind of did know better. But I did show the book, so whatever. We won't do that again. So, hardest lesson I've had to learn. I have so many lessons that I've had to learn. I can give you. Let me think. What's a good one? What's a good one? One of the hardest lessons I've had to learn is it's okay to forgive, but when you forgive, um, don't forget. And then also, don't have that same, you can't, you, you can't be the same person. Well, I won't say you can't, but I won't be the same person I was before said event happened. We'll just say betrayal. So, a lesson I've had to learn is fool me once, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, definitely shame on me. Hi, J- Jakoff, Jakoff Hill. How are you? I'm well. How are you? I'm talking about hard lessons I've had to learn. So I was writing them down. Fake perk, fake hurt. Black Lives Matter. Yes, they do. Hi everyone. Here's hearts. So I'm tapping into today's hardest lessons I've had to learn. What's a hard lesson you guys have had to learn? My biggest One of my biggest lessons that I had to learn is just being so free spirited with people, and just when people like, thank you for the likes. I wanted to thank you for the likes. I see 17 people watching, only got 2 likes. Can I get a few more? But one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn in is when, forgiving people. I was always just so forgiving, and people would just come around and they would just start back talking to me without really addressing what took place. And my biggest lessons, what I had to learn, is when people re-enter your life and they genuinely apologize, a conversation must be had about whatever it was. Because if you don't have a serious conversation about the boundary that was crossed so you can move forward from it, it's just going to create a bigger thing in the long run. And for me, yesterday I was talking about passive communication, aggressive communication, and assertive communication, and how all of that ties into, like, passive communication is pretty much, you just let bygones be bygones for the sake of not blowing up things to get to, like, this space of combativism. And then aggressive communication is someone that just kind of like bullies and debos and just, hi Micah, Billy, hi everyone that's coming into the chat. Can you please give me a like, please? I see a 16 people now. 16 to drop down to 11, but anywho, let me get some likes. Don't just be staring at me oohing and ahhing. So then the other back to different ways of communication. So the other communicative way to communicate is assertiveness. Assertiveness, it's a balance. It's saying what you mean and mean what you say. You're not allowing somebody that is aggressive to just, bully you into accepting what they are giving you. Hi, why we live in Earth? You think that, what's the point of life? People look depressed in 2026. I feel like everyone has their own meaning to what they're here for as far as life goes. You can't find happiness within a thing or a person. That's a good question, Crazy Doctor. Happiness must be found within yourself at some point. And how you find that is getting to know yourself. You can't really find yourself if you are consumed by noise. For me, I have to seek solitude so I can hear my thoughts and actually fill out what it is that I like, what it is that I want to do without all of that foolishness going on. So, yeah, my hardest lesson was when I had, disagreements with people where I would just pull back and I would just go completely silent on them to a point where I just would ghost, and I wouldn't be willing to talk about it, because generally those people, their communication ways, their ways of communicating were always aggressive. And being a passive people pleaser, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I do not people please now. I just, nod and keep it moving. I'm a kind-hearted human being, but that does not mean that my feelings and my emotions are not important, because they are. So I think people have to start with themselves. That doesn't mean go around being this nasty person because you don't like that I got on a cheetah print shirt. Okay, if you don't like that I got on a cheetah print shirt, like, you don't have to be here. That's the beautiful thing about it. And if somebody wanted to express that to me, okay, cool, whatever. I like it, so it makes me happy. I feel like a vibe when I put it on this morning. Yes. Any other questions? Because I know I still haven't finished with my hardest lesson that I had to learn. And I'm actually still working through that lesson that I had to learn. So it's like, I don't necessarily want to speak on it because there's so many legalities and things that are tied up in it, to where I just want to rehash and maybe come back to it at a later time. So that's That's actually the hardest lesson. I probably have a book tied up into that. But yeah, I would say how I got over it or how I healed from it. I I had to do a lot of meditating, working out, journaling, praying. I'm going to say praying first because without God, boy, I wouldn't be here because people really tried to destroy me. But the Most High, God, he brought me through, honey. He brought me through. He's still bringing me through. He's brought me through so much. Like before, I wouldn't even be able to sit on this live and have a conversation. I put the wrong date in my journal. I wouldn't even be able to sit on live and have this conversation, guys, because that's how hard it had hit me. It was like I couldn't. It was just that. And sometimes people, they only want to come back is just because of your light. Like they're like, you're a cool person. Like I like you being funny. You know, like you're my personal lapdog, but I don't want you to be like that for the world. Like you're doing too much when it gets to a point where you're doing that for the world. And I would like to say, be careful with dealing with those types of people. That was a big problem also. So going back to people look depressed, a lot of people are depressed, and you have to watch out with interacting with those types of people. For me, I'm an empath, so I feel people's energy. I can't carry your depression. I can't carry your problems. You have to do the work yourself. So, yeah, I'll be a listening ear, but I can't get involved in what you got going on, boo-boo. We can't get involved. Getting involved means that I am sabotaging everything that I've worked so hard for myself, and it just means that I'm putting someone above, not only, it means I'm putting somebody not only above God, but I'm putting them above myself. And I would never put anything above God. Never. I ain't never doing that. I ain't never putting nothing above what my goals, dreams, and aspirations are. I won't do it. Any other questions? What y'all got going on today? Today is Friday Eve. It's Thursday. What's good? What's goody in a hoodie? What's up? Y'all just looking. Ain't nobody got no other question. I like the crazy doctor. Like that was, let me see if I can pin that. Because that was a good one. That was a good one. What up? Where's everybody from? Where's everybody located? I'm in ATL. Like it started warming up, then it got cold. It's crazy. I had a lady, I volunteer at a community garden here in Brookhaven, and I've been volunteering for, I don't know, it's probably, wow, it's probably going on about 7 years, maybe 8, that I have been involved in this community garden. And let me tell you, you think being a part of a community is, it's all happiness, joy, and whatever, whatnot. Especially you're just gardening. Like, dude, you're just growing plants, for crying out loud. People get really competitive when it comes to growing plants. For me, I joined a community garden because there's so many like food deserts and things of that sort, especially now in this day and age, that you know, I can't eat everything that I grow. So for the most part, what I do is I just share with my community what I grow, and I fellowship. This year they'll probably get a different version of me because um in the past I feel like I've overshared as far as um is I feel like I've overshared as far as from a speaking standpoint, not overshared as far as from a gardening standpoint. But yeah, things get kind of competitive. I think I definitely want to take a step back. I won't be as boisterous as far as throwing out ideas, because in the past what I've realized is when I am just freely with the ideas, free flowing with the ideas, just throwing them out there, people tend to take my ideas and spin them into their own. And then they like to kind of little girl me, like I ain't fly, like I ain't dope, like I ain't that chick. So we will not be doing all of that. We will be keeping the lips zipped, and we will show up and we'll do our volunteer duties. And that's that. I just won't be adding any of my input like I did in the past. Hi, whoever just joined us. Hello. My name is Desiree. I go by Hair by Desiree Desir. I am a hairstylist here in ATL. The hair industry is changing as a whole. And generally in the summer, I would say generally in the wintertime, it is a time of reflection. It's just a time to like clean out, clear out the clutter, and prepare for the spring and summer, prepare for the new seasons that are coming about. So it's a little slow right now, but all in all, it'll pick back up. It will. I noticed that our industry it's different. I'm in a salon suite, and generally it would be packed in here. I mean, the hallways would be loud. Everybody's working, doing their own thing. January is very slow. February starts to kind of pick up because we get the Valentine's Day rush. We get that Valentine's Day rush. And then we slow down a little bit. There's a lot of Pisces, so they love to get their hair done. So we'll see those lovely Pisces coming in. And then the spring, it'll start getting warmer. And we will see people coming in that want to change their hair because they are tired of looking like the same home girl that they have been walking past in the mirror all winter long. So yeah, that's just the cycle of this industry. For me, I am a transformative person, so I'm working on new ways to express myself, hence why I'm here with you guys on YouTube. And I've also been hopping on TikTok doing lives. Most of my work is on IG from a portfolio standpoint. I posted a few things on TikTok. If you like me and what I'm talking about, because I'm not just a hairstylist, I am an empath and a shaman, as quiet as it's kept. But I mean, I don't hold rituals or dilly dally with like sound frequencies and things of that sort. Like I don't do any of that. But Um, I can tap into what people are feeling when they're in my chair and help them work through that. Simple things that brings me joy. What is a simple thing that brings me joy? Simple thing? I mean, it brings me joy waking up and knowing that I woke up this morning and I still can use my hands and stand on my feet. Yeah, but a simple joy, something that brings me simple joy. Wow, that shouldn't be so hard to answer. Something that brings me simple joy. Freedom, peace, having a peace of mind and not having someone speak on behalf of you. Yes, that brings me joy. That brings me the utmost joy, is having the freedom to just speak from my heart and get up and express myself through the way that I want to dress, the way that I want to wear my hair, the way that I want to wear my nails. That gives me joy. Not having some fuddy-dud, fake ass friend critiquing everything that I do on the sideline, or some bum boyfriend, some bum dusty boyfriend that don't even like himself critiquing how I wear my hair. Why you wearing all that makeup? Yeah, stuff like that. Um, Having a free peace of mind and just, being me. How much better does it get than that? I get to be myself. Cheers to that. Cheers. All right, bring me more questions. Bring me more questions. I love this. I love this Q&A. I actually drink a ton of water, guys. Elisa's daddy. What up, Elisa's daddy? I'm sorry. I'm just now seeing, who else did I miss? Micah Billy. Hello. Locker. Hi. If I missed anybody, it wasn't intentional. I just was rambling and going on. It's kind of chilly. This is a little chilly. Yeah, so I guess all of that ties into a hard lesson I've had to learn. Um, but at this big age, I won't be going back down that road, nor will I be going back and forth with anybody. So I feel that I have gotten to a peaceful space in my life, and I wish anybody that is watching this live to find peace within their life, find peace and happiness, whatever that means to you. However, if you are depressed, that's something to not take very lightly, because this life here on this earth, God guaranteed it to all of us, our own lives. And our lives should be lived based off of our own happiness, not trying to build somebody else's happiness. So if you are one of those people that is depressed because of your circumstance, just know that it's a moment and it won't always be that way. Uh-uh. Contacts acting up. It's a moment, it'll pass. It won't always be that way. Try to focus more on positive, optimistic thoughts rather than being in the moment that you're in right now, because we're all in some type of situation or moment, but it won't last forever. Um, I am living proof that it will not last forever. And as we continue on this journey, if you follow, like, and subscribe, as we continue on this journey, you will see further on down the road that, yo, this girl, she's a master manifester. Like, she's real tea, honey. She's tea. Well, she put them two fingers together. It's like wiggling her little nose. Bewitched. Poof, be gone, honey. But yeah. So I've been here for like 26 minutes. I'm thinking of giving it another 4 minutes, so it'll be a full 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna hop off. Is there anything else anybody else wants to touch on? Does anybody want to say anything? Any shout outs? Any like suggestions? Like, I'm here. Throw them at me. What's up? What's good? Don't be shy. I don't bite. I don't bite. I don't bite. Yeah. Also, I want to say, if there is like an idea or something that has been ruminating in your mind, write it down on a piece of paper, because that idea that is ruminating in your mind, it could be a seed that is waiting to be planted and grown into something so beautiful. And yeah, write it down. I'm telling you, write it down and come back to it. Be very detailed in it. Be delusional, in fact. Be very delusional, because it works. Even when it comes down to, if you want to dump somebody, write down, write it down how you plan on dumping that person. And I mean, we're not doing anything to be malicious towards anybody. We are getting ourselves out of these crummy, bummy situations where we are just like sitting in ish for the sake of sitting in it. Because ain't nobody got time for that. But write down your ideas, even if it's, you want to go on vacation to Greece. Write it down. If you want to break up with Bobby because he keeps sneaking around, write it down. I'm telling you, you write it down, and somehow, some way, the answers, they will come to you, and it will flow, and it will be okay, because we are all okay. Like, I have survived like dangerous relationships and everything, and let me tell you, journaling has helped me manifest so much. It has. So my 30 minutes, that's my TED Talk, guys. That's my TED Talk. My 30 minutes is almost up in a matter of seconds. I enjoyed my time here with you guys today, and I just want to send anybody that needs it love and light. Hugs and kisses. Love you much. Can't wait to come back and chop it up with you again. Yeah. Because life is just too short to be sitting around, walking around depressed, sad, moping in 2026. And we ain't got time for that. Bye, loves.